news? This morning, there was a horrible train crash in Hoboken, New Jersey. And so far, the death toll is at least one, and there were over 100 people injured. What happened was a train came into the train station at full speed and didn't brake and didn't stop and crashed into the platform and into the station. People are saying it sounded like a bomb. People are saying it sounded like an earthquake. It was an incredible, incredible crash with tons of damage. It's amazing that more people weren't killed. But did you hear anybody talking about how it might be terrorism? I doubt it. I was watching and listening all morning. The only person who I heard say the word terrorism was someone who was one of the victims. And he was saying that the first thing he thought of course, was terrorism. And yes, isn't the first thing that you thought of if you heard of this news already terrorism? But did you hear one authority, one mayor, one person involved in the transportation authority, anybody in authority saying that it was terrorism? No. Now, I'm not saying that we should say it's absolutely terrorism. Certainly, I don't know that for a fact, and I know what you're thinking. I'm the terrorist therapist, so I would want it to be terrorism so I could sell more books. That isn't true. But what I do want is honesty in reporting. What I do want is not to pretend that there's no way this could be terrorism. We don't even have to mention it. You know, when there were the recent bombs in New Jersey and New York, that were put by Ahmad Rahami, a terrorist, not someone who they found has necessarily was in a terrorist cell, but his journal and lots of other things have pointed to the fact that he was being influenced, persuaded to follow in their footsteps and commit a terrorist attack. So, but it took a while for people to admit that. Actually, Trump said it right away when he got off his plane that he heard about the bombs and it could be terrorism. Hillary, on the other hand, said she had to hear from her people more about it. I mean, the point is, if indeed this train crash or any other attack like what happened in New Jersey and New York, if these things are terrorism related, then we need to know about them right away so that we can go on a higher alert and take the proper precautions. But to pretend that, this could just be mechanical failure or human error is disingenuous at best. In fact, yes, it's coming out that New Jersey has been having a budget problem. And they actually were warned that there could be some train crashes because the train equipment hasn't been maintained well enough. So that could well be a possibility. It could also be a possibility, like in some other train crashes, that the conductor was texting or hadn't gotten enough sleep or had a heart attack or something like that. What's scary, though, is that there is a real similarity. It's certainly when I saw the pictures of this crash, it made me think of the crash in London, the 7/7 crash. That was in 7/7/2005. That's their 9/11. That was when trains were bombed and a bus was bombed, and the sites looked so similar. And also the people walking around, looking dazed, looking lost, pieces of train all over the place, blown apart. And there was just this sense that it was like 7/7. There was also the sense that it was like the truck in Nice not long ago who plowed down the boardwalk in Nice. And this train plowed through the station. These similarities, make one think, could they be following the same instructions of plowing through throngs of people? So, we don't know yet, but all I'm asking for is that the authorities, mayors, politicians, transportation authorities, and so on, and the media be honest and include terrorism amongst the possibilities, because it makes us more frightened if we don't think that anyone is investigating that.